What's up, everybody? Welcome to the All 22 Deep Dive Film Study, the special Arch Manning Texas Goes Spread edition. And if you saw a smile on Ian Boyd's face, you know that nothing makes him happier than seeing great flyover offense. Ian, you excited to jump into these highlights?
Yeah, this is as optimistic as I've been about Texas since like August.
Well, you should be. And here's something you need to carry that optimism. There's a place you need to go with that optimism. It's inside Texas. You could join for $1. You could be a part of the best conversation about Longhorn sports and sports in general. We talk about everything there, but there's no better place that you're going to drill down on the Texas Longhorns. Come join us. Ian, without any further ado, let's share the good news with the folks.
Let's begin with first quarter, 1st and 10 with 7:12 left on the Texas 17. Paul, this is the first real touchdown drive of the day. They scored on a one-play drive when they first got the ball. We all remember that easy bubble screen to Wingo for a score. Then they kind of bumbled a opportunity in the Vanderbilt side of the field and kicked a field goal. This is, in my opinion, this is when they really started to assert dominance over this game. And it's with the most simple design probably of the entire game, Paul. They have 6 guys in the box for 5 blockers. So we're going to throw a perimeter screen out to Ryan Wingo, who doesn't have to run a route. He just turns around and looks for the ball. And we're going to flex Jack Indries out to block the corner and make that safety, who's a little bit tight to the box, make a play in space on Wingo, which we've already seen is pretty iffy from the first play of the game. And lo and behold, easy offense, athletes in space versus non-athletes, first down.
Yeah, a few thoughts here. This is spread Texas. This is 11 personnel Texas. And we flexed out Indries, of course, to be the blocker. And I would submit, maybe this is a bold assertion, Ian, but I would submit this is the first game plan all year where we attacked individual Vanderbilt players. We attacked personnel, not just scheme and coverage. Because CJ Hurd, the guy we're going to force to tackle here, shows up on these highlights in a bad way many, many times. He has 6 missed tackles in this game, 4 of them in the first quarter, Ian. And that is not a good tackle. That is not a good effort. This guy's not a good tackler. And we clearly identified this on film. I don't think this is a coincidence. I don't think we bumbled into identifying CJ Hurd as a guy who had trouble getting people on the ground. And we beat this into the ground mercilessly. And Ryan Wingo, we've joked about like he might be our best running back. That's a guy that's not easy to tackle in the open field. So I love this simple concept. I love the fact that we committed to the spread here. And I love that the basic baseline execution of this play. Good job by Indries, good throw. Wingo does a good job of just getting up the field. He doesn't try to juke. He's just like, I'm going to go get 14 yards. And that's what he does. He also dislocates his thumb.
Yeah, well, they were able to throw it to Mosley and Livingston and get similar results in the exact same play later in the game. I love your point also about we're not trying to outsmart the Vanderbilt scheme here. We're not trying to find the guy that's being asked to do a few too many things. We're finding just the guy who's not very good. And he may be positioned perfectly. His rules may be great, but we don't think he can tackle our guy. And that's maybe a level of simplicity that Sark's been too reluctant to embrace this season.
There's a Jimmy's and Joe's aspect to football that you should never shy away from if you can find a mismatch. All right, Ian, it's time for a little Spider 2Y banana. You like Spider 2Y banana, Ian?
I do. I like your Great Lakes accent too.
Thank you. This is my John Gruden, and this is actually a real play. People think it's made up. They think it's absurdly titled, therefore it's a fake play. It's a real play. It's a concept we run all the time. It is the first quarter, 1st and goal, 2:26 on the clock. Ball's on the Vandy 7, and we run Spider 2Y banana. And the key feature of this is that your number one read is the running back in the flat. In this case, it's going to be CJ Baxter. Ian, this is a concept we have run repeatedly in the red zone. And Arch has always held onto the ball too long, despite the running back always breaking open. It's usually Wisner. And then he'll usually, like, the play gets continued out and it either goes well or poorly. This is also the exact play that he bungled against UTEP, where he didn't throw it right away. Everything closed up the windows and he threw across his body and has that weird interception in the end zone, right? This is Arch Manning starting to master not only the concept of the play, but also understand how to stress and put strain on a defense. Let it run, esteemed producer. You're going to watch Baxter go slip out in the flat here. Livingston's going to run a corner route to run off coverage. And watch here. So Vandy does a good job trading this off. Arch can't throw it here. So Arch actually doesn't have an open guy. What's he going to do? Is he going to stop and scan back? No, he's not. He is going to continue to extend the play and put stress on the Vanderbilt defenders. And by pressing the line of scrimmage, Baxter's going to run to the paint, which is what he's taught to do. And Arch is just going to throw a little backyard, nice little toss right over these two Vanderbilt defenders who are overreacting to Arch on the edge. That is very calm, poised, composed quarterbacking leading to a red zone touchdown. Vanderbilt actually defended this pretty well. But Arch Manning said, you're scared of my legs on the perimeter. Your guys are going to overreact. CJ Baxter runs up into the paint as he's supposed to. Now we're going to see it from the back view. Let's notice this little Niblet fake, which we ran all throughout the game, not only in the run game, but also in this. It's going to cause a little hesitancy, and you're going to see some eyes on Niblet, especially from that linebacker and that backside edge.
And that backside linebacker too.
For sure. And then that backside edge being frozen for a moment just buys you a little bit more time, right, for Gooseby to get out on him.
That also the linebacker that our producer incompetently failed to circle. His hesitation on the Niblet deal is essential because he's the guy that's supposed to be pressuring Manning so that that other guy can stay on the running back.
That's right.
That's right, producer. When that guy does not get good pressure on Manning, then eventually you put the guy who erases the initial flat route into conflict.
Yep. And you're going to see both guys for Vandy run out to the perimeter. They're going to leave basically coverage. And Arch is like, I'm going to keep extending this because I know at some point this guy in conflict has to come forward. Look at this. This guy's making a decision here. And Arch is like, hey, I've got all day. And Livingston cleverly is boxing out his guy. You see that up in the top?
Yeah.
So Manning's like, I've got all day. And the defender's like, oh, no. And so the defender says, I'm going to stop the threat of Arch running. And Arch just lofts an easy ball. So you might say, why include this really easy touchdown? Because Arch Manning's decision-making within the concept made it easy. And we also had some smart play from some other Texas players.
How about that? They're getting better.
All right. I want to show you some just good quarterbacking here, Ian. Third quarter, 3rd and 5, 13:41 on the clock. The ball's on the Texas 12. Hey, we've got to convert this and keep the ball. We're going to end up having a 93-yard touchdown drive on this. And this is a key play. Arch converts this just with good old-fashioned read progression. So he's going to hit Mosley here in the middle of the field for the first down. Nice open space, good throw, good catch. But there's a little bit more that went into this, Ian. So I want you to notice his first read is up at the top of the screen to Livingston. Here's a crazy thing. Talk about this, the milliseconds of football. Livingston is going to carry it up, and Vanderbilt's going to actually bust this coverage. The guy doesn't carry. He thinks he's got a safety behind him. As Livingston reaches this guy, he's putting his arm up in a second and saying, Arch, I'm wide open. Throw it. Arch has just moved his read off of Livingston because Vanderbilt initially had him. So what Arch is going to do is go to the next read, right inside of him. And I believe that's DeAndre Moore. Nope, he's kind of covered. I don't like that throw. So I'm going to continue my progression. And I'm going to look down here at Jack Endries in the middle of the field. He's running a little cross here. Arch says, I could throw it, but it's short of the sticks. I don't know. Like maybe that Vandy guy can tackle him short. I'm going to wait. And I'm going to throw it to Mosley here right on the chest, right before he hits the official who would have screened him off. And we get a nice first down conversion. Beautiful play, 14-yard gain. And then I want to show you the back view with the help of our esteemed producer and show you what a nice job the O-line did and really the job Trey Wisner did. Trey Wisner was exceptional in pass protection. And I want you to see how he goes and meets the blitzer, Ian. He doesn't wait for the blitzer. Watch this. Boom. He is going to plant his head right in that guy's chest. And you see the contact, the guy bounces back, and then Trey resets. This is a good job. And this play is not possible. Go ahead.
I said, look at Campbell helping him too and finding productive work.
Yeah, Campbell's a little late. He doesn't get over to, because he sees his guys on his outside shoulder. He gets passed off to Baker. Campbell's a little late. I mean, it's not his fault, but Wisner is the guy that makes this go. If Trey Wisner doesn't come up and pop that guy with real force and meet him before he gets his momentum going, I think this pocket gets dirty. Arch doesn't have the ability to go through, I think, 4 progressions here, at least 3. And this is a great sign, not only for Arch Manning, but also for the progression of this pass protection.
There's so much to say here. This is really an impressive play, even though it should have been a touchdown. They almost simulate whip dig on the backside. It has the same effect where the tight end widens the underneath defender to open up the dig route, only it's backside of the main action to the wide side of the field, and Manning is able to get to it. That's nice. That's very effective. It's very hard for zone defenses to cover the 3rd and 4th progression because the quarterback's eyes, a good zone defense will take away the 1st or 2nd read because the quarterback will guide them to where to be, but they're not fast enough to move to the other side of the field and get there. So when your quarterback can actually do this and have protection, it becomes nearly indefensible at the college level.
Another pure spread look. We're in 11 personnel, but you'll notice Endries is flex, like a true flex. So Vandy's going to bring 5 here. And their guess is, hey, it's 3rd and 5. We're not going to let him get to that 3rd progression. We're going to sack him or pressure him by that point. But the O-line does a good job. Notice all the shoulders square across. Notice even Connor Hudson putting both hands out. Like, hey, I know what I'm supposed to do because I've got 2 guys potentially inside gaps. And I've got Gooseby with the guy outside of him. We've got to go 3-on-3 here. We can't mess this up. Wisner saves the day. Progression, throw. And Arch is going to throw it on time. He's going to reset in the pocket. He's going to throw a really nice ball. Boom. Puts it right on him. Nice job. Hey, folks, if you are in the market for a mortgage right now, there's only one call you need to make. And if this is not your first call, it better damn sure you're your last call. And here are the digits. If you're driving, cut yourself and write in blood on the windshield. 832-557-1095. I don't know why I went graphic there. I'm trying to get your attention. This is shock advertising. Hey, you don't need to be shocked to go with Gabe Winslow. He's the best in Texas at what he does. He is an awesome guy, a UT grad. He's a former National Merit Scholar. He's got a law degree. This guy's way overqualified to be doing an incredible job with your mortgages, but that's what he does, and he is absolutely kicking ass right now. Come join the ass-kicking party. If you've got an interest rate right now over 6.5% on your current mortgage, call him. There's a very good likelihood he can refi you for free. Or if you are shopping for a new mortgage, this is the guy you got to call. Make sure this is the guy that you get on your team for the best possible deal. 832-557-1095.
All right, Paul, we have another play here of a similar vein. Texas is going to convert a 3rd and 9 in the 3rd quarter with 10:41 left till the 4th. They're on the Vanderbilt 28. This is the difference between a long, maybe iffy Shipley field goal attempt and I believe what becomes a touchdown drive. And what we're going to see on this play is another play that makes me, this offense against Vanderbilt reminded me a lot of the 2008 Texas offense. They're not quite at that level, right? But the idea of having 5 skilled players on the field and 11 personnel who all know how to run routes and catch, and then just getting the ball out quickly and trusting the quarterback's decision-making and receivers being in the right place at the right time. Very McCoy-ish. Trey Wisner's got a lot of Obaniah in him. And Jack Endries is going to play the role of Jordan Shipley on this one. They have stick flat in the boundary, and Endries is just running to open space and turning around and getting open as quickly as he can. and you got Wisner, actually Baxter in this case, widening out the flat, and they're able to punish a 5-man blitz with just a quick hitting play into space. Simple football.
Claiming green grass. It's good stuff. And again, this is another key spread concept. Not only the play call, but actually the concept. You replace the blitzer with a receiver, and then he turns around. And that's how you convert it. And Arch throws it right on him. He does a nice job. Other thing I want to point out is something Ian and I had previewed in our previews. Vanderbilt is going to show 7 men up in the box. It looks like they're bringing all 7. Of course, they're going to drop 2 out. But it's still a 5-man pressure. And I want to show you from the back view the nice job that DJ Campbell does in terms of awareness. Watch DJ Campbell pick up a guy who's coming from far away. Watch this, Ian. Shoulder square. You can't change direction on me. And not only is DJ going to get the guy, does he just accept the guy's momentum, or does he drive him a little bit out of the window?
He drives him a little bit out of the window, Paul.
Absolutely. 100%. And so look at all these guys, like good square, aware. Everyone's passing stuff off. They're communicating. Manning knows that he's got to get the ball out because Vanderbilt is showing at least a pretty heavy blitz. They end up bringing 5, which is still significant. But look at how Endries pops open. You can really see that from the back view. That's a great illustration, Ian. This is a great. Ian pulled this clip, and I understand why. It's a great illustration of a basic spread concept, and Texas executing it pretty flawlessly with the tight end.
I think this is also, I like this one in a lot of the schemes they ran in this game because it kind of reflected Sark relinquishing some control of the offense and he stopped trying to beat the other team with designed plays and let his quarterback make decisions on the field. So we're not going to block everybody with max protection. We're going to send 4 or 5 guys out. And instead of asking Manning to wait for 2 or 3 guys to get open behind shaky protection, we're going to let Manning beat them with his mind and his eyes and his ability to move his feet in the pocket, which is, that's to me is the biggest difference in this game is that shift. And Manning.
100%. Yeah, and our fine producer was illustrating the fact that Baxter going out in the flat made the linebacker follow, and that also creates an additional window. The other thing is there's 2 basic philosophies if you want to get really dumb to beat the blitz. You can block up the blitz, max protect, and you have limited options, right, by definition. Or you can invite the blitz and say, bring your blitz. We're going to be able to blunt it just enough because our pass pro is improved and we're blocking the right guys, and any pressure you get is going to be coming late and outside. And we're going to put a bunch of guys in space, and you're going to have to cover them one-on-one. And we think our athletes are going to be able to punish you more often than you can punish us. And I kind of prefer that approach. But
yes,
there's evidence for both, but I think the evidence for the University of Texas this year is pretty conclusive that we're better the latter than the former.
But you got to relinquish the joystick and let the quarterback make decisions on his own. All right, this one, 4th quarter, 3rd and 5, yet another 3rd down conversion by Mr. Manning. He had a lot of those in this game, Paul. 8:43 on the clock on the Texas 40. You really want to hold on to the ball here and just kill clock and kill opportunity for Vanderbilt to get back. And he's going to hit a perfectly timed out route to DeAndre Moore within a pretty narrow window. Like most quarterbacks would say, this is covered. I can't throw this. Manning threw it, 1st down.
Yeah, the thing I like about this route concept is you can see almost the stack effect of the twins down on the bottom of the screen. Mosley does a lot of smart stuff. He's going to basically push straight up the field and Moore's going to get right behind him. You notice how he's running right behind him?
He's drafting.
The minute he breaks, Mosley's going to continue going upfield. It's a natural pick, a natural rub that will never get called because the receiver has a right to run up the field, right? And notice how Moore breaks off of him. The minute that starts, Manning's already throwing the ball. Watch. Boom. That's not a really easy throw to throw that on time perfectly. Manning also gets hit as he's releasing it. And we'll show you from the back view about the culprit on that one. but Moore gathers it in. So you're going to see from the back view here, Cole Hudson, who of course was a big stabilizing force at left guard. He didn't play great. So people are overstating it. He played average. But average at left guard, Ian, is a huge improvement for us. So you're going to see he loses this guy. Bad habit of Cole's. He turns his shoulders. And this guy beats him. Fortunately, we've got a pretty quick throw going on here, Ian. So this is not a blitz. It's a four-man rush. But if someone gets through on a four-man rush and you're in a spread concept, you still can get the ball out and you still have a chance to convert that third down. Look at this nice ball. Look at the placement right to Moore. I mean, the only person on the planet who can catch that ball is DeAndre Moore. And that's always the fear when you're throwing an out route is, what if I get this a little too inside or I float it a little? A guy's going to take it, 50 yards for a pick six. But when my basic thought on Arch, a great diagnostic for him is early in the game, and I know this is later in the game, but early in the game, if you see him hitting either intermediate out routes, it's on. All right, I want to show you an unsuccessful play. Not because anyone did anything wrong, but because the nitwits wearing stripes screwed Texas over one of many times. But I want to show you the concept and the evolution of this offense in another way, Ian, not just the underneath or intermediate passing game. Fourth quarter, 3rd and 6, 4:23 on the clock. Ball's on the Vandy 33. We're going to take a shot here because Vandy is bringing the house. They're bringing 7, Ian. We're going to actually leave our tight end into block, and we're going to run 3 guys out on routes. Vandy's got 4 to cover. But really, once you get past that linebacker's drop depth, it's one-on-one all over the field. Arch knows before the play where he wants to go with the ball, and that's Emmett Mosley. You had an interesting comment about Mosley that I thought was useful for this play as well.
Yeah, Mosley is not the fastest guy in the Texas receiver room. But what you'll find is that when it comes to actual route running, it's all about timing of your break, feel of the defender's leverage, and footwork. And a good, precise route runner can get open without track speed,
May I offer something as this goes forward? If you can go forward, esteemed producer. Look how he turns him around.
Yes.
As he's turning, right, he's opening up his hips. Mosley's going to cut against the grain. At this moment, the Vandy corner knows, uh-oh, I'm in trouble. This guy's got position. He's bigger than me. He's got good hands, and there's a good ball coming, which is a perfectly thrown ball by Arch. The Vanderbilt corner is going to interfere gratuitously right in front of the official who's right down here on the sideline. There's also a guy in the end zone who has a view as well. You can see the sideline guy down here as well, Connor. It's a gross, gratuitous PI because not only is he going to grab him, he's got a handful of Mosley's shirt right now, but he's also going to basically push him with his other hand. So Mosley isn't able to gather it in. There is no flag. Texas ends up missing this field goal. But this is a great illustration of Texas running these sort of spread concepts and then attacking with shot plays down the field, not just hitting them for 8 and 12-yard gains. I want to show you the great pass pro again here, Ian. I want to show you, look at the shoulder square. Shoulder square. The running back, he does not sit and wait. Look how he advances up in the gap. He fills. Look at that. Perfect. It's a freaking parabola. Everyone's shoulders square. Everyone's doing their job. Arch has got a nice, clean pocket. And I want you to notice, Vandy has more men than we can block. But when you get every gap filled and you keep your shoulder square, where does number 2 have to run? Where does number 44 have to run? Nowhere.
Find it. Yeah.
You can run into your own guy's back. That's all you can do. So this is real good stuff. This is the kind of stuff we should be excited about, guys. I'm not saying we need to do it again and again, but this is something that I can tell you definitively, we did not do this all year correctly until this rep. The idea that people bring an extra man and the guy runs into someone else's, their defender's back because you're perfectly square and you filled every gap and no one's turned, no one's getting beat. That allows this kind of throw. By the way, this is a great throw by Manning, but this guy's Mosley's being mauled and the ref just stands there, thumb up his ass.
This is also why I say in college that receivers make the passer, because Manning throws to a spot and then he trusts Mosley to find a way to get there.
Yeah, I largely buy into your premise, but every week Auburn has been trying to disprove you. So we have to have some humbleness with our assertions, Ian.
Jackson Arnold, yeah, there you have to reach a certain base level for that to ring true.
All right, well, we're digressing, but anyway, we wanted to show you how even in failure, Texas is experiencing a lot of success. All right, well, Ian and I are still beaming and happy after that awesome spread-oriented Arch Manning performance, where Texas did some things that they hadn't done all year, not only in terms of the structure of the offense, the disposition of our wide receivers, but also the protection from our offensive line and Mr. Trey Wisner. Ian, a lot to be excited about, and you need to bring that excitement to Inside Texas. Come join us. $1 gets you membership. Kick the tires. And are you doing Dikembe Mutombo, or are you saying $1?
I'm just trying to say $1.
I thought you were taunting me like Dikembe.
No, I'm not trying to say no. Yes, absolutely. Come to Inside Texas. There are some things we break down better in video, and there's other things that you need writing to really get into. And so you got to do both.
100%. Come join us. And I hope you guys appreciated this as much as we enjoyed making it for you. Let us know, like, subscribe. Let us know in the comments what you thought. If you thought the offense did some things and turned a corner against Vanderbilt, we'd love to hear from you. Best community on the internet. Let's go.